As our building process is continuing to move forward, it's time for us to start trying out different stains for our wood ceilings in the apartment. We tried about 5 different shades before we finally, I think mostly got tired and ended up on one color.
This may not be what we need. That is not very much. Doesn't necessarily look bad, but there should be more color to it.
I think it looks good. If you're going for a lighter tone, it'll definitely be lighter. We'll see what it looks like after the final step.
This is our 4th try. And we put the pre-stain conditioner on. Now we're putting a dark walnut stain, and I think this is what we want. Do you think?
I agree. I think it looks beautiful. So this is going to be on the ceiling in the apartment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to do some beams in a much darker tone.
At this point, we're still deep in the middle of the construction process, doing as much of the work ourselves as possible. Some days it feels like things are moving fast, and other days, well, let's just say progress happens one board at a time. But there lies the beauty of building a home. It all comes together little by little, and every step makes it feel a little more like home. Staining is one of those tasks that takes patience. Damien is making sure that each piece of wood gets an even coat of stain, bringing out the grain of the wood. It's a messy job, but totally worth the outcome. The natural tones are going to add so much warmth to the space, and honestly, I can't wait to see how it looks when it's installed. Damien was leaving town for a few days, so I thought it'd be a great time for me to help him out by me finishing the boards while I'm visiting with you a little bit. Tonight I am doing a conditioner on this wood. That's for our apartment ceiling. And I thought it would be just a good time to talk and visit a little bit. Haven't had a chance to do that very much yet on the channel. This new channel is really starting to gain some traction, so I thought it'd be a good time to get to know each other a little bit better. Now, let me start by saying, as with everything on this channel, I am not a professional. In fact, this project of staining these for the ceiling is the first time that I've done this actual thing, so not here to instruct, but maybe to encourage you that if you don't have the money to pay other people, don't be so intimidated that you don't do a project. We tried about 5 different things before we landed on a combo that we liked. It still ended up being a little darker than we wanted, but we found that the others weren't giving enough color to the wood that we had purchased. So anyway, the product that I am using is Minwax Pre-Stain. It's a wood conditioner, and we did try to skip this step. I'll just be completely honest. But we found that it truly does, as the experts say, work a lot better when you use a conditioner. It's the end of the day, and Damien is out of town. He went to go see his kids for a few days. And so I don't even know if I am fully in frame in this video, and I hope so. But if my head is cut off or something like that, just pretend like it's there. So this is Minwax Wood Finish Penetrating Stain. This is Dark Walnut 2716. And it goes on quite a bit darker than it is when you wipe it off. So it's just a semi-thick liquid. You rub it on in a back and forth motion along the wood grain. Now on the tongue and groove, you want to be sure to get down in that groove, or else some of that may show just a little bit when you're putting it together. Now I'm sure a lot of you could point out a better way that I could be doing this, or the expert way, but the point of this is not to give expert opinion, but maybe to encourage someone that even if you aren't an expert and you have these things you want to do in your home but you can't afford to pay someone, don't be afraid to do it yourself. We bought the lumber. We found a really good deal on Marketplace, actually, Facebook Marketplace, and then we just went and bought these products. The conditioner, the stain, gloves, and the sponges. And that's all it takes, that and some time. In our last home, we didn't hire help for hardly anything. We did have people that helped us. I say my husband did 90% of the work because he did, but his father helped quite a bit, and his brother helped us do the sheetrock. We had a plumber friend, John, that helped, and different people. Some people we would call on if something was really heavy and I couldn't help Damien. They would come and help us, maybe just move something or get something lifted up onto the ceiling, and that all made a big difference. But we were living in a small cabin on our property that Damien also built, and we had time on our side. So while we were living in that 860 square foot cabin, we built our bigger home that I call barn home, because it literally started out as a barn. And if you want to see that, I will link that video in the upper right-hand corner here. And you can click on that after you're done with this, or just go to Christina Howard Home Tours, and you can find it listed on that page. It says Stone Barn Dominium, and that is what we're going to be doing now. Again, as far as the stone, this shop has an apartment on the other side, and it will be stone, and then we will live in the apartment while we are building the big house, and it will also be stone. I have, I believe, 6 boards left, and then hopefully that will be enough wood done to do our 600 square foot apartment. Very small, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We're going to kind of do it in an old world style. Our last home I called Rustic Elegance, so it's probably going to have a lot of that feel, but maybe not quite as rustic, not quite as much wood, because we had big beams everywhere. We will have stone on one wall, wood ceilings, stone shower, and on the other side of the shop is my husband's utility room. He just built a brick shower in there. Little overkill for a shop bathroom, but it's really cool. Okay, so I am going to let these dry for a few minutes while I do some other chores, and then I will repeat this process with the next 6 boards, and I am done.
I woke up to a beautiful foggy morning, my absolutely favorite type of weather, and I was just so thankful to God for giving us the opportunity to live in these beautiful hills. Making a life-changing decision is never easy. It's scary, overwhelming, and a million reasons to talk yourself out of it. What if it doesn't work? What if it's harder than you thought? What if you fail? But what if you don't? What if stepping out of your comfortable life is exactly what you need? What if the hard days lead to something better than you ever imagined? That's what we remind ourselves every day as we build this home. One board, one nail, one long day at a time. It's not always easy, but as Damien often reminds me, nothing worth doing ever is. And at the end of the day, we know this life we are building, this choice we've made, it's fully ours. With all the good and the bad, the stresses and the accomplishments, it's all part of the process. And every once in a while, we step out from the work and reward ourselves with a nice lunch or dinner at one of our local restaurants that we love so much. Here we're overlooking the Elk River in Pineville, Missouri, one of our favorite spots. If you're standing at the edge of a big decision, wondering if you should take the leap, just remember, the hardest part is the first step forward. After that, you just keep going.